I think I've been overthinking everything. I've been doing these vlog-style videos. I haven't actually published a lot of them. I've been kind of like umming and ahhing as to whether I should have a separate channel for it, because it's more creativity-based, question-based. It's not necessarily just me writing music. But the problem I have with it is that I don't want to have another channel, because I've got loads already for each of my artist projects. But I also am aware that you might be watching my channel for tutorials, over-the-shoulder style stuff where I actually just write music and you watch me do that. And there's no problem with that. But I get so scared that I'm going to push my loyal following away by doing this type of stuff as well, that I've just been going completely against all of my advice. And my advice is always to do what feels easy. If this was easy, what would it look like? I wouldn't have a ton of channels. I wouldn't have a ton of things. I would have this. I wouldn't have to necessarily do tons of other things. But that is a scary, scary prospect of putting all your eggs in one basket. Not that I'm against doing that, but I've done it before when I've focused all of my energies into one thing, and that one thing has kind of crumbled. And that's not to say that that's the rule, but it does make me hold off in doing what I know deep down is the right thing, and that right thing is to go all in. And that's why I often talk about things like following your excitement, following your interest, and going with what excites you. What excites you, what brings you joy, and what energizes you. Those things are your compass. They're your kind of like North Star. But the thing is, it gets really, really tricky to see that North Star in the sky with all the other stars around you. Constantly double checking, is this the right thing? A few years back, I actually started doing this type of stuff. And I really enjoyed it. I really do enjoy it. But again, I got scared. There was a different fear there. And this is the thing. Then it wasn't like, is this the right thing to do because if I go all in and it won't make money? The fear there was, what if I don't have a thing to say? What if I'm not worth sharing? What if people just don't give a boop? And that's a different fear altogether, but it's incredible how all of these fears wrap themselves around you in your decision-making, your daily decision-making, and what gets in the way. So those of you who have subscribed to my newsletter, which you can subscribe to on my website, richardpryn.com, I sent an email out last week where I said, hey, I'm going to start a record label. And that's my main machine. It terrifies me because it's betting on myself. And that's not a reason to not do it at all, because I've been holding off on this for years, over a decade. I started one, in fact I've started multiple ones. Not necessarily always straightforward record labels, but it could have been like a production music label or like a sync library or something like that, or royalty-free library. Started all of those things, but nothing ever quite felt right, because I got the same thing about that as I get about this channel and the content on this channel. And that is, what if no one cares? What if no one resonates with the stuff I create? What if it doesn't catch? how am I going to make money if nothing catches? How am I going to make connections if nothing catches? How am I going to feel worthwhile? How am I going to feel worthy if this is all the wrong thing? And that's when I fall back on this. It's a famous quote from an oldish film, which was appropriated by Wayne's World. It's a bit of a woo-woo thing to be writing, and I appreciate what I'm doing and what I'm saying. If you build it, they will come. So how does that apply to you and me and this? Whether you're pursuing your music as a production music composer, as a trailer music composer, as an artist, as a content creator, as a blogger, as a course creator, all of these areas that a musician and a music maker can go down. If you focus on the things that excite you and interest you and do not overthink these things, it will start to happen. Things will start to happen. Maybe not overnight. Maybe it will take years. I'll tell you again, it took me 7 years to become a full-time composer, basically. Having a teaching part-time job whilst writing music in the evenings and my occasional day off. 7 years. And if we look at my YouTube channel as an example of that, this channel does very little. Some people will look at this channel and say, this is an absolute failure. I've been going for 5 years. Yeah, okay, inconsistently. But I get only 100 views on my videos. But note to self, and to you, if you're following your passion, and I really don't want to use that word, if you're following your fun, following your joy, things that energize you, none of that matters. Because we're not all going in this for virality, we're not all going in this for fame. Some of us are going in this because we just love creating. And if that's the reason you're doing the thing, stop putting obstacles in the way, talking to myself here as well, and just go for it.